Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of You Oughta Know, where I introduce you to bands that you should definitely have on your radar. Today's guest, it's Seasons out of Richmond, right here in Virginia. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Doing pretty good.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and talk about yourselves real quick, guys. How did you guys get started? How did you, how did the band get together? How did you come up with the name and all that good stuff?
Well, you're two of the more underqualified people to answer that. Mark and Sarah. There are currently 4 official members of Seasons, and Mark and I are the 2 newer ones. I'm the newest. Mark is the second newest. But as far as Seasons was the band started in 2017 by our bass player Matt Poe and our then drummer, now vocalist Randall Sykes. As far as the name, Mark, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so a little bit of the formation and the name. I am not an original member per se, but so we had our Inner Ruin EP came out, and then everything after the Inner Ruin EP I was there for, so I've been here for a good amount of time now. Poe started the band with the former guitar player, and they begged our drummer Randall, who is now vocalist, to come along. And it started out as just something fun and just started building traction really quickly. At that point, there were some member changes that came along through the years. The former rhythm guitar player actually found me on Instagram, just doing some solos and things like that. They asked me to come on board. And once he left, we found Nick. And so that's kind of how the formation of what you now know as Seasons has come around. So the name Seasons, it starts off really silly and really simple, but they came out with their own kind of rendition of this. So the rhythm guitar player, they're looking for a name, the old rhythm guitar player, and he's just driving around town at his day job, and he comes across a sign that says Seasons, and he's just like, well, I haven't seen that as a metal name. And I was like, it's kind of cool, it's short, it's to the point. And then he was like, well, what could that mean for us? And he was just like, well, it's like we have members and everybody brings a different element or a different feel to it. They all had different things that inspired them to play. So it's like all of us are a different season, and we all came together to make one cohesive unit. So that's kind of where the name Seasons came from. It started from something really simple and then built on something that we really kind of made our own. And honestly, it's like now we've added like 8 seasons because we've had some member changes. Yeah. And every time we have a member change or a lineup change, we get a different idea, a different aspect, a different look on what this band can go to. And they have different things to bring to the table. So it's always changing. Like the Seasons, and if you know anything about Virginia, we got like 50 of them.
Yeah, you got 50 in a day sometimes. Yes, that's awesome. That's actually amazing. How would you guys describe your sound, like your music style?
The short answer is metalcore. We have a lot within the band. We have a lot of different influences. A lot of Motionless in White, a lot of Lamb of God, a lot of All That Remains, a lot of As I Lay Dying influence. So we derive a lot of our sound from those kinds of bands, the bigger metal bands.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of the original stuff before me and Nick got involved was very heavily Day to Remember, Motionless in White influenced. Mm-hmm. And now we're going kind of in a different path. It's still metalcore, but things are going more in an Attila, Wage War, I Prevail sense sort of the word. You don't want to change your genre too much to like sell out per se, but we're trying to appeal to the masses, make more sing-song friendly songs with like some brutal breakdowns that still like those old school metalheads really like. And we just started writing a song in drop G, 7-string guitar that's actually very brutal. It's actually coming along very well. Nice. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to put us in that melodic metalcore kind of area with some deathcore kind of breakdowns in the mix.
Cool.
Somewhere around that mix.
Cool.
Genres are really difficult to kind of nail nowadays.
Yeah, it is. It's like everything is a genre. Like the way I see it, if it comes out natural, then it works. If it feels natural when you play
you call me what you want to call me, as long as you like it.
Exactly. And so you guys, like you said, that there's been different versions of the band, and you guys are like the newest members of the band. This current version, how long has it been together?
So if you're talking about current version as far as Killing Seasons, Circles, the last... So technically, we're going through a member change kind of right now, but as far as the recorded music that you've heard, this has been the band recorded since February of 2020.
Okay, cool.
Because we're in the midst of a drummer situation right now, but in the meantime, the drummer became the vocalist, so he's been doing all the drum parts also.
Okay.
So what you've heard from Seasons on our last 3 releases, basically, and one upcoming release, has been the band that you know that you.
All right. So it's been. Okay, so this current lineup has basically been together for a few years, technically, when you think about it.
Well, about a year now.
Okay, cool.
The band's about 2.5 years old.
So you've done some shows. So you've definitely been out and done some shows before this whole COVID stuff happened.
Well, I joined in February, and lucky me, we all know what happened in March.
Yeah.
So played my show with Seasons, even though I've been with Seasons almost a year. Played my first show in late October. That was my first show I got to play with the.
He learned the songs 50 fucking times over, but they continued to play them live.
Where were you able to play? I mean, was it here in Virginia or?
Yeah, we had we played a show at a place called Another Round Bar and Grill that's here in Richmond, and it was not like you'd consider a normal metal show. People had to wear masks and things like that, but it was still, after practicing with everybody for like 10 months or whatever, it was still like extremely gratifying to get out in front of a live audience and play our songs.
Yeah, dude, it's gotta be crazy. Like, I think of it like as a fighter that like you gotta wait like 3, 4, 5 months to like fight somebody, and you keep training every day for it. But at least it's going to happen. He
was prepared. I mean,
but this is nuts. It's like you just keep practicing every day, and you don't know when it's going to happen. Like that's crazy. But okay, so this question wouldn't really apply to you because you just had the one show. But as far as like, what would you say, like, from the shows that you actually, since you've been able to play more shows with the band, which one stands out that you would say that it's like the best one that you had?
Obviously my first show seemed really cool to me. That happened July of 2019, but it wasn't my best show. The best show, in my knowledge of being in this band, as far as my opinion, is so we did in January of 2020, right before COVID really hit and everything shut down. We shot the video for Bonds is a Virtue in the morning. So it was like a whole 9 to 5 video shoot. And then we played a show at the same venue. We did some of the shots at the venue that night, and we were headlining. So we didn't go until 10. So of course it was a crazy day. And of course you want to drink beers and stuff. So you got to like keep yourself like in a good level. You can't like be too drunk to play the songs or whatever. But we had another band playing before us that actually brought on their own CO2 cartridges, like exploder things and shit like that. And they had their own stage risers and shit like that. So we got to play last, but we got to use all their lighting equipment, all their stuff,
nice.
And they knew our music. So the best show, in my opinion, was the day we shot Violence is a Virtue. I mean, we jumped off stage, and as soon as we jumped off stage to do the breakdown, the pyrotechnics or the CO2 cartridges went up. Like, to me, right now, like, that was the best show we ever did. I mean, it was amazing. It was definitely put forth. Everybody put forth an effort. And it's crazy because that was like the last show we did until this last show we did in October. So it's like we don't have a lot to compare it to.
Oh, man.
But,
friggin' Friggin' COVID. So, you guys kind of touched on what my next question was going to be, and it's like, we're all living in this crazy, stupid, fucked up reality with COVID. How are you guys handling that? Are you guys working on new material? Are you guys just rehearsing? Are you even able to do a lot of rehearsing? How is it working out for y'all?
Yeah, it's a lot harder because of course we're working on new material. That's really kind of the go-to, I think, for all bands right now is working on new material, because what else are you gonna do besides, I don't know, do like a live stream show? So we're working on new material, and we're the songs we put together, we have 2 that we've released in the last month and a half or so that I think we're all really excited about, and we have 1 more in the pipe ready to be released. And so we're excited about these songs, but what makes it tough is when you're a band like us, playing live is your main source of income. Yeah. And of course there's alternative sources of income like selling merchandise and stuff, but shoot, you sell the bulk of your merchandise at a live show.
Yeah.
People come see the band, they like your band, like, I'm gonna pick up a t-shirt on your way out. And you get some online sales, but it's not like the live shows. So our income has been cut like by 95-100%. So saying that to say, like, it's hard to keep the ball rolling with releasing material, because producing material costs money.
Yeah.
Music videos cost money. The PR part costs money. So it's a little bit tougher. So we're really just it seems like there's bands breaking up and members leaving left and right, because my theory is morale is just probably really low across the board. But I agree. I'm pretty proud of this group. Everybody's really just hanging tight, keeping their head down, working and making the best out of the situation. So that's kind of how we've been making do the last 10 months or so.
Yeah, I would say this band probably does about 1,000 times worth of money and merch at one show than we would do in 6 months just via the internet. Yeah. That's how well we do at shows versus what we do just on the internet. So kicking shows off of us is like, oh god.
No, man.
It's like they might not know you, but then they see us and we put on a show. We move a lot. We jump around a lot. We are headbanging. We are throwing down with craft corn. We're jumping off risers. Whatever we can do, we make people move. There's songs that I get in the crowd and I force people to pick while I'm playing. And then, like, you get out of that shirt, you're like, God, I gotta buy that guy's shirt. Like, I gotta buy that band's shirt.
See, that's how I am. Like when I go to a show, like, I make sure that it's like, if I go and I see one of the bands and I like it, I gotta leave with something. I can't just leave with just a memory of what I just heard or saw or something like that. It's like, I'm gonna go to the booth and I gotta get a T-shirt, I gotta get a CD, I gotta get something. I gotta leave with something. So I 100% feel you, man. And this is what has killed me the most out of this whole thing. It's like, I see this, it's fuck. This sucks. This sucks, man.
Yeah, definitely. And like trying to just like put a Facebook post out there and say, hey, go buy a shirt, but like, yeah, it doesn't work out as well as like really ripping their faces off in person. Like, they don't even know you, and they're just like, oh my god, that band was just better than the band that came after them, Yeah. And it's hard to produce that now. But I mean, we are definitely staying busy. We are making songs, we're making moves, and we're actually not working on an EP. We're working on an album. So since we don't have a lot of better things to do, we're hoping by spring, early summer to release an album with a lot of songs. Will be the first album this band's released. So I think we're looking forward to it. I think we're going to be really proud of it because we have nothing better to do than invest all of our time into it.
That's that's all we have right now. Time. So good luck. I hope all this shit ends soon because this sucks. We all need to get out there. And I'm looking forward to catching one of y'all's shows. And so just a 2-hour drive or 5, depending on Fredericksburg.
Depending on what time it is.
Depending on Fredericksburg. Maybe it's a 6-hour drive. Who knows?
6 hour to an hour and a half depends. Hopefully got the easy pass.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap this up real quick. Why don't you go ahead and tell me, go ahead and tell the fans, where can they find your music? I mean, is it on Spotify? Is it on iTunes? Where can they find all your stuff?
Yeah, we're on all major platforms. We're on Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, Apple Music, all the big names. We're also on YouTube. You can find us on all those. Search Seasons RVA. RVA stands for Richmond, Virginia, which is where we're from. And you can also find us on Facebook, Seasons RVA, Instagram, Seasons RVA, and Twitter at Seasons RVA.
And I also just realized earlier today, about 30-40 minutes before this call, we just released a cover of a Halsey song, which is 3 a.m. You can actually, if you have Alexa Unlimited, not just Prime, but you can search it on your phone and find it if you don't have unlimited. But you can ask your Alexa device, if you have unlimited, to say, hey, I want you to play 3 a.m. by Seasons, and it will actually play.
Oh, nice.
So, but you have to have
That's very
unlimited.
cool.
You can't have Prime, but it will actually play. It's on all major platforms. Seasons being a harder name to find. Yes, you usually do have to put RVA behind it, or search for the song that you're actually trying to find. But we are on all major platforms.
Which, by the way, I feel really dumb about the fact that I realized that you guys were from Richmond, and I didn't realize that the RVA was Richmond, Virginia, until you just said it a minute ago. And I'm like, oh. What have I been doing the last few weeks? Like, wrapping my head, what's the RVA for? What's the RVA for?
Yeah, if we were a band back in like the mid-20, like 2009, 2010, when bands had like 5 character names.
Yeah,
you know,
Head
like
PE.
Devil Wears Prada, John Brook.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, we made it hard for people. But we're here. We're here. It's everywhere.
Yep. And so, and what do you want to say to the people that have never heard of Seasons? What do you want to let them know about your band?
Okay, I guess I'll go first.
This one's a tough one always. I know.
I wanted to let you know that we're a band that likes to make music. This sounds like what you hear now, like Wage War, I Prevail, Attila, but we bring some old notes and some old breakdowns and some old school kind of notations that you heard from bands back in the day, like Data Remember, Chiodos. We're trying to bring old metalcore back mixed with new metalcore, and I don't think that's done a lot. So if you like new metalcore and you like old metalcore, you might be able to find a mix with us.
Yeah, it makes for great music for running from the cops or for boxing or any of that kind of stuff. We've gotten some really, I think, interesting comparisons before. One of which I thought was really interesting. They said like if Five Finger Death Punch and A Day to Remember combined, you'd have, which I thought that was interesting. I've also heard with Randall, who's was our drummer, now our vocalist. Really interesting one was like, you guys sound a lot like Chester Bennington, like Linkin Park. I think that's crazy. So, yeah, if you haven't heard us before, check us out. I would love to hear somebody listening on this call. Feel free to reach out. Let us know what you think. What do we sound like? Cross between what and what?
Dude,
it doesn't seem like we get one thing. It's always a cross between something and something else.
Right.
Dude, my old band, and I'm talking, this is back in 2004, back in Florida. I had a guy, drunk as fuck, comes to us like at the end of the show. He's like, bro, like you guys are like very, 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 very technical emo.
Technical emo.
Yeah, and I was like, well, did you like it? Fuck yeah! It's like, all right, cool. We'll just go buy a shirt and here's a CD. It's like,
I didn't know technical emo was
like, all right. It's like, I don't care what you call it, man. If you like it, just buy a CD or something. Thank you.
Technical emo.
Hey.
Hell yeah, I like it. You know, honestly, I would like technical emo, to be honest with you. I would really like it.
Hey,
That's like
maybe
forever.
I'll bring it back.
That's like from first to last with like the guitar player from like Polaris or something like that, or Era or something. I'm down with this.
So if John Petrucci got together with From First to Last,
I'm down with it.
Right?
I would be interested to see what would happen.
I'll be
I'd be very
interested.
interested to see what would happen.
I'll figure something out.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. This was Seasons out of Richmond, Virginia. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I really appreciate it. And good luck to you guys on this year. Have a great holidays. And once again, I appreciate you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for letting us be on the show.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you. Thank you for having us on. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right.